his Directorate of Media and Public Affairs said this while priority seemed to be given to state police. The Senate leader, who is also the deputy chairman of the Constitution Review Committee, said the 10th National Assembly could not afford to downplay issues relating to state police. This, he said, had even become necessary because the issue of state police was coming at a time when security challenges continue to threaten lives and property across the country. Also, the Senate Minority Leader, Senator Abamoro, PDP, Benin South, dismissed suggestion that other constitutional amendment proposal had been abandoned. Moro explained that the Constitution Review Committee had deliberately segmented the amendment process to fast-track urgent issues, particularly state police. He said, and I quote, "We are looking in all directions of constitutional amendments. We decided to segment the amendment process because if we wait for every item to be concluded before submitting them, this legislative cycle may pass. So we are taking the state police now, while other constitutional amendment proposals will follow very soon. In the next couple of months, they will also see the light of the day." Ali Ndume, APC Borno South, equally said that security remained the primary responsibility of government, making the establishment of state police a necessary constitutional reform. Ndume, who chairs the Senate Committee on Army, said he had consistently advocated not only for state police but also for local government police to strengthen grassroots security. All right, yes, the senators have spoken why they are prioritizing, making sure that state police come to stay in this country. Remember, a few weeks ago, the Senate, the National Assembly, woke up to the realization of the need to establish state police, and this executive have also given a nod, saying that whatever thing that is brought to them as regards to the establishment of state police, that it will be okayed. Because a few weeks ago, when the bill was presented on the floor of the Senate a few weeks ago, the Senate said that after they've done their part, this particular bill will be sent to the various states' houses of assembly for them to look into the bill, the various provisions that are entailed in the state police bill, and after that, whatever thing that will be done. So we are yet to hear from the various state houses of assembly the progress as to the passage, of that of that bill. State police bill. So we wait for the state houses of assembly, the 36 state houses of assembly, the lawmakers in that legislative will do what is expected of them for the passage of the state police bill. On Friday, I did highlighted some of the provisions that are included in the state police bill. If you tuned in last week Friday, you would have known what are the things that will be included in the establishment of state police when state police finally gets the green light from the stakeholders. So very soon, maybe later today or tomorrow, that program will be posted on our various social media platforms, so that those who did not have a chance to listen to that program that I did during the political update last week Friday will have an opportunity to listen, because it is very, very important for us to know what are those things, the provisions that are included in the establishment of state police. So when state police finally comes to play, comes to operation in the country. All right, so my say is this: I want to urge the Senate that they shouldn't rush into the establishment of state police. Because why I'm saying this is because the House of Representatives, that's the lower chamber, recalled the bill, saying that there are some of the provisions that are in that state police bill need to be reviewed. So the House of Assembly have recalled that bills, wanting to fine tune some of the bills. So we hope that they will tighten up whatever they feel is not included, will be included. Whatever they feel that should not be included, should be removed. So I want to urge the senators, the National Assembly, not to rush with that state police, establishment of state police, because it is one of the game changer. That is, if it is well managed, it will be one of the game changer in the Nigerian security practice, operations, or architecture ever. Because this has been what even the current All Progressive Congress, when they were in the opposition, they have been clamoring for the establishment of state police. Now the duty, now that they are in power, let us see what the All Progressive Congress, being led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will do with that opportunity. Now it is now an opportunity for them to do everything possible to ensure that state police comes to operation in this country, so that we will know where our insecurity is actually coming from. Is it lack of police personnel? Is it lack of funding? It is lack of discipline that is in our police. We will know. So when this state police comes to operation, we will know if this is what is the solution in curbing, because you cannot totally stop insecurity in the country, in the world, anywhere in the world. There will be lapses of security. All right, Lagos, that is how far I can take on that particular story. So let's move to the next story, still on the Sun newspaper. Suspected Boko Haram terrorists abduct pastor's wife. 3 children in Borno. Suspected Boko Haram terrorists abduct pastor's wife. 3 children in Borno. Suspected Boko Haram stroke ISWAP insurgents have reportedly abducted the wife of a pastor and her 3 children in Muba local government area of Borno State. The abduction occurred on Saturday when the family was traveling from Maiduguri to Damasak. Their commercial vehicle was intercepted by the gunmen near Karito village, where the victims were allegedly ordered out before being whisked away. Sources within the community said the abducted woman is the wife of Reverend Moses G. Guguma, the resident pastor of the Church of Christ in Nations, COCIN, in Damasak. She was said to have recently recovered from a prolonged illness and had just been discharged from a hospital in Maiduguri before embarking on the journey. According to the source, the attackers allowed the driver and the remaining passengers to continue their trip after taking only the pastor's wife and her 3 children. They stopped the vehicle around Karito and specifically asked the pastor's wife and her children to step out while everyone else was allowed to leave. The source recounted the whereabouts of the victims were still unknown as of the time of this report was filed. A resident who spoke on condition of anonymity appealed for prayers for the safe return of the family, suggesting that they may have been singled out because of their religious affiliation. Damasak, located about 156 kilometers from Maiduguri, has remained one of the communities frequently affected by insurgent attacks in Borno State. No official statement has been issued by security authorities regarding the incident at the time of filing this report. Yes, it is another insecurity story again, another abduction, just as we are commending the federal government and the security authorities for the release of the 49 teachers, students and pupils who were abducted on the 15th of May in Oyo State. Another abduction again, has occurred in the country. So yes, this thing, when foreign governments like the United States, have been clamoring, have been saying that the insecurity that is going on in this country is targeted towards a particular religious group. But the federal government had debunked that. But this is what was reported. So is it that there is a deliberate attempt to is it a deliberate attempt that Christians are now the major target, when it comes to abduction, kidnapping in the country? So the federal government has said that insecurity in the country is not only targeted towards Christians, but the most important thing is that Nigerians have been held hostage. That is the most important thing, and it is now left for the federal government to do everything possible, to make sure that this act is reduced to its barest minimum. We cannot just keep on reading on the pages of newspaper, watching the news on television, listening to the news on radio, just like we are doing now, and keep on hearing these things that abductions. It is high time the federal government sit up. And as a result of that, insecurity will be part of what Ibuku and I will be talking about this morning later on by 8:30 during the wake up conversation segment here on Overt Radio. So I want to urge the state governor, I want to urge the security apparatus in Borno State to activate all their command in ensuring that the abducted pastor's wife and her 3 children return safely, just like the story did noted that the lady was just recovering from an illness. So we pray that the security operatives do everything necessary in ensuring the safe return of the pastor's wife and her 3 children. All right, next headline. Alake NIMSI join forces to track illegal miners, boost digital governance. Alake NIMSI join forces to track illegal miners, boost digital governance. The federal government has intensified efforts to combat illegal mining and strengthen governance in the solid mineral sector through a strategic partnership between the Ministry of Solid Mineral Development and the National Identity Management Commission, NIMSI. Solid Mineral Development Minister Dr. Dele Alake disclosed this in Abuja when he received the Director General of NIMSI, Dr. Abisoye Koka Odushote, and her management team on a visit. Alake described NIMSI as a critical institution in Nigeria's development architecture, stressing that credible identity management has become indispensable for effective governance, national security, and economic planning. According to him, the ongoing reforms in the mining sector require stronger collaboration with agencies like NIMSI to improve transparency, accountability, and regulatory oversight. He said a reliable digital identity system would help the government to trace and monitor operators across the mining value chain, particularly in tackling illegal mining activities. Without identification, we cannot trace, we cannot track, and insecurity will flourish. In the solid mineral sector, we need effective tracking of both legal and illegal operations. A credible identity ecosystem will strengthen regulation, improve enforcement, and support our effort to sanitize the sector. All right, this is coming from the Solid Minerals Development, the Ministry of the Solid Mineral Development. So my question is, now you have identified illegal mining operations as one of the things that is one of the challenges in the mining sector. So my question is, how would the partnership of NIMSI, how would the partnership of the National Identity Management Commission, NIMSI, prevent illegal mining? What is the relation? What is the connectivity? What is the nexus? In tackling illegal mining in the solid mineral sector. What is the connection between the solid in tracking, in curbing, identifying or tackling illegal mining? What is the connection between tackling illegal mining and NIMSI? What role does NIMSI has to play? Is NIMSI a security agent? Is NIMSI an agent, a department for security? Is NIMSI part of the security architecture that will curb illegal mining? Yes, it is more or less like an identity kind of a thing. If you actually want to tackle illegal mining, you have to deploy security personnel into the various locations. If actually the government is passionate about tackling illegal minings, partnering with NIMSI shouldn't be the first thing to do. At least it is not the concern of NIMSI. Okay, because this is an activity. All right, tackling illegal mining. What has NIMSI got to do with that? Do they have the power to track illegal mining operations in the country? Is NIMSI even a security, agency? So if we have to start doing things that are commendable in this country, our leaders need to start thinking, because when leaders in this country, when they say things, I begin to doubt, are these people, are they actually educated? So what is the partnership between, what is the correlation? How effective will NIMSI be able to track illegal mining in the country when there is the police there, the army is there, the NCDC is there, all the 11 security agencies in the country? You did not you did not approach them. You are approaching NIMSI. You are approaching NIMSI. You've not engaged the custom service. You've not engaged the NCDC. You've not engaged even the paramilitary organizations in this country. So what has NIMSI, that is my question, because I don't understand what this story is saying. What has NIMSI got to do with tracking illegal mining operations in the country? If actually you want to track illegal mining operations in this country, EFCC should be one of the agencies you should go to. EFCC, ICPC, and other illicit financial anti-graft agencies in the country, not NIMSI. NIMSI should be the last point of call in tracking illegal mining. So I don't know what to say, but I call on the Minister of Solid Mineral Development, Dr. Dele Alake. Dr. Dele Alake was a former commissioner in Lagos State during the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So I want to call on him that there are key agencies that you can approach to track illegal mining operations in the country, not NIMSI. NIMSI should be the last point of call, in tracking illegal mining operations in the country. So that is that. Yes, the next story. Yes, yesterday is the Spaniards. The Spaniards yesterday clinched the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Spain were crowned 2026 FIFA World Cup champions after defeating defending champions Argentina 1-0 after extra time in a tense and closely contested final at the New Jersey Stadium on Sunday, securing only the second World Cup title in the nation's history. The victory ended Spain's 16-year wait for football's biggest prize, adding the 2026 World Cup crown to their 2010 triumph in South Africa. It also completed an impressive era of dominance for La Roja, who arrived at the tournament as European champions and finished their campaign without a defeat. All right, congratulations to the Spaniards, for beating the defending champions, Argentina. Yes, many thought the Argentines were the favorites to win the World Cup yesterday because of the likes of Lionel Messi and other key Argentina players in that squad. But hey, at the end of the 90 minutes, it is the better team that will win. Remember that after 90 minutes, the game ended goalless draw. The winner was decided after 30-minute extra time. So congratulations to the Spain. And for me, when I was watching that game yesterday and seeing Argentina losing that game yesterday, my thought was that it is better for you not to qualify for the FIFA World Cup final. It is better not for you to qualify for the final than qualifying for the final and losing the final and being defeated in the final. So I mean, England were the best, were the best, were the best, losers yesterday, on Saturday rather, for clinching the third place. So congratulations to England, congratulations to Spain. Yesterday, England won the third place of that competition on Saturday, beating France, 6-4. That was a classic match on Saturday. 10 goals in a match. That is classic. 6-4. All right, Spain, congratulations to the Spaniards national team. I know it's going to be party all through this week in Barcelona, across the major cities in Spain. It's going to be party throughout the week in Spain. So football lovers, congratulations to Spain for beating Argentina, and better luck next time for Lionel Messi. Hopefully this should be his last World Cup. We don't know yet. You never can tell what this footballer are up to. So the question now is, yes, Kylian Mbappe also won big yesterday by claiming the Golden Boot award. Kylian Mbappe throughout the competition scored 10 goals, the biggest achievement so far in the World Cup history, scoring 10 goals. Lionel Messi had 8 goals. Assuming Lionel Messi scored like 3 goals yesterday, Lionel Messi would have been given the Golden Boot, award yesterday. But Lionel Messi did not find any goal. So Kylian Mbappe, among the losers, is also one of the biggest winners yesterday in the just concluded 2026 FIFA World Cup. All right, Lagos, that is how far I can go this morning. Remember, within the next few minutes, Ibuko and I will be here for the wake-up conversation, and what Ibuko and I will be discussing this morning. We'll be looking at insecurity. Can state police end Nigeria's growing insecurity? Can state police end Nigeria's growing insecurity? That is what Ibuko and I will be discussing in the next couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. This is Overt Radio. The breakfast show continues.